Are you looking for the best keyboards for beginners? In this video, we will look at some of the 4 best keyboards on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Native Instruments Komplete Kontrol S61 MK2. Total DAW access starts with a simple buy, the Native Instruments Komplete Kontrol S61. This exceptional MIDI keyboard is made for those who want to jump right into electronic music. Shipping with a massive pack of over 50 gigabytes of downloadable instruments and sounds, as well as a free copy of Ableton Live 11 Lite, which is one of our favorite DAWs, this keyboard gives you just about everything you'll need to begin making electronic music, except for the computer. The S61 features 2 high-res color screens that communicate with your DAW and digital instruments. With a vast array of knobs, control buttons, and 2 rubberized wheels, you'll easily find yourself controlling filters, portamento, pitch, and low-frequency oscillator, LFO, at the same time you play melodies on the premium Italian brand Fader-designed, semi-weighted keyboard, which has the tactility you'd expect from a traditional piano. As a beginner keyboard, the S61 suffers from a lack of speakers. You can't simply power this on and play some Bach, but for beginners who want to work on electronic music, it's about as good as it gets, even including RGB lights that can be programmed to help you stay on key. With so much software bundled inside and such a slick-feeling key bed, we think this is the best MIDI keyboard for beginners. Number 2. Yamaha P4588 Key Weighted Digital Piano. When you think beginner keyboard and a classic digital piano comes to mind, albeit with a few handy features for starters, then the Yamaha P45 is just what you're after. This beautiful digital piano is a great choice for serious players, and is a great choice to learn with for anybody. With a full range of 88 keys that are weighted and graded so that lower keys are heavier, the P45 plays like a real acoustic, just with a few tricks up its sleeve. Changing between functions on the P45 is easy. The top left of the keyboard features a few small buttons, a power button, volume slider, and a function key, labeled as Grand Piano/Function. Holding down the function key allows you to change the keyboard's voicing with simple key presses, moving between grand piano tones, organs, electric keyboards, and even a pleasing harpsichord tone. This same function key easily activates some of the keyboard's more advanced features, like a dual mode that loads 2 different voices, or another mode that splits the keyboard for 2 players. It also features a programmable metronome, some preloaded tunes, and pitch fine-tuning. The P45 features a handy MIDI connection that will appeal to piano players who like to record on a computer. The MIDI function works flawlessly. I loved using the Yamaha as a MIDI controller within Ableton Live. The piano controlled my digital audio workstation, DAW, with no fuss, providing a huge range of notes that were organically responsive to play with. Electronic musicians who wish to learn piano as they create will get so much out of this instrument, making it a great keyboard for electronic music beginners as well as beginner pianists. With its stately looks, the P45 is a solid keyboard that will make a wonderful practice piano anywhere in the home. With a headphone jack and adjustable volume, you'll have all the privacy you need to master that fugue, and all the tone you'll need to play it after. Number 3. Alesis Melody. The Alesis Melody is one of those all-in-one instruments that just has everything a young musician wants. With a wildly large arsenal of voices, pre-recorded tracks to follow along to, and built-in beats, this is a keyboard that's chock full of fun. Load up a synth, start up a preloaded samba, and you'll be blaring down the Miami Strip like it's 88. Switch over to organ and find yourself jamming right along to Orleans funk. The Alesis brings all the sounds. However, the Melody isn't just a massive sound bank. This keyboard also comes with some serious learning tools, including 3 free months of Scoof Premium and 2 free months of Take Live, 2 different approaches to music lessons that both give you real value learning tools. Altogether, the Alesis Melody is a true value pack for keyboard learners that's crammed full of musical potential. The keyboard is missing a few features you'll find on more premium keyboards, like weighted keys, wide polyphony, and MIDI, but for the price it's still a lot of fun rolled into one. Number 4. Casiotone LK-S450. While it's certainly not a traditional electric piano, the Casiotone LK-S450 brings piano lessons into the era of the Guitar Hero and wavetable synths. This keyboard features innovative light-up keys that glow, cueing you to your next move through a wide songbook of piano classics. But that's not all. The LK-S450 is also a working library of voices, with 600 customizable voices that include everything from sine waves to string ensembles, as well as built-in rhythm settings with multiple parts and a record function. The LK-S450's sound library is surprisingly replete for the price. When testing it out, I found a sine wave I loved, added sustain, and then used the layering function to pair it with strings for an ethereal synth tone. Then, dialing in a rhythm, I was pleased to find that as I played bass over the dance beat, I could trigger an intro dance beat or add a fill from the menu controls with my offhand. Taking my ethereal key tone with me, I started up a lesson, queuing up Nocturne 9-2 on easy. The rhythm counted off, and B-flat glowed red. Once I pressed it, the lesson commenced. With every note change on the right hand, the next key glowed red, allowing me to follow along at my own pace, with the left hand accompaniment firing off when I got to the correct part. I found myself enthralled, following along slowly, as the piano did half the work. With the glowing lights and the accompaniment playing at the right times, the experience made the piano lesson into something as addictive as a video game. The LK-S450's glowing keys make it a wonderfully compelling keyboard on which to learn music. Not only does the keyboard teach you all the songs in its library, but the settings menu features a chord library that works in the same way. A turn of the dial quickly illustrates the difference between a CS-4 or a C-diminished chord, and cycles between different keys, with all the standard chords provided for each. I had hoped that the LK-S450 would provide a way to turn on lighting for all of the notes in a scale to facilitate learning different keys. Though I wasn't able to find this feature, the chord book still achieves some of the same results, helping students learn theory and visualize how chords combine different notes in a scale or mode. That said, I was a little let down by the connections on this keyboard. It has a MIDI connection, but it doesn't ship with the proper MIDI cable. The standard MIDI cable I had didn't connect to the device's USB MIDI slot, and when I tried two other USB-A cables, neither connected the device to my computer so it could be found in the musical product software Ableton Live. There's also no 1/4-inch slot, so I wasn't able to connect the keyboard to my computer this way either. Still, with troubleshooting I'm sure it can be made to connect. The keyboard also features a Bluetooth connection, as well as a sustain pedal, audio in, and mic in. All in all, I think the Casiotone LK-S450 is one of the best beginner keyboards out there. The light-up keys are not a gimmick, rather, they're an exceptionally useful tool for learning piano, making the process addictive and fun. As far as its basic performance, the keyboard's sound library is vast and fun enough to get you excited about experimenting with synth tones and effects, and its record feature works well. While the connectivity isn't perfectly set up for recording, there are workarounds. For a true beginner keyboard, this is one of the best, and most fun, options you can buy.